My name is Kathy Healey. I'm the author of A Single Touch, Queen of the Hill, but my mantra is Mary Jane Splain. The reason Mary Jane Splain is my author group, that was my favorite store in the little town of Norristown, Pennsylvania, where I grew up. Splain was where I got my bubble gum. It's where I got my peanuts. It's where I got my nail polish and my lipstick from the age of 5 when I got my allowance. Back then, my allowance was 25 cents a week. I was born in 1946 and I'm now 79. My day starts sometimes at 3 a.m. I have to be at work to do my setup. Just because it's 3 a.m. in Las Vegas time, they could be from Bulgaria, they could be from Russia. The people I'm serving, it's their time frame that they're traveling on. So if it's 3 a.m. my time, it's noon where they're from and they want lunch. So they're traveling on their time frame, and so I have to adapt to what their needs are. So I go in at 3 a.m., set up my glassware, set up my forks and knives, and do spatial representation of what their needs are. Now, I work with groups. I could have 17,000 for breakfast. So I work with 300, 400, 500 servers. When I do bartending, I don't do bartending at 3 a.m. I do bartending sometimes at noon. Sometimes, like Cowboy Christmas, I have to be at work at 7 a.m. People start drinking at 7 a.m. These are cowboys and people who live on the range. And so they're up at 2 a.m. feeding their horses, getting their cows ready. And so people drink at different times of the day as a bartender. What makes me happy? What makes me happy is to be alive, to be around people who love me and get gratification from helping others. I'm at the USO where I help military because my husband's military. I have children in foster care who I care for through the CASA program, which is a federal program for children in foster care that are placed there from the courts because their parents, either they're abandoned or the courts take them away from the parents. I do feeding the hungry, help with the homeless, and I volunteer at the Smith Center. But one of my fun things to do, I drive the train. It's called Magical Forest. I'm an engineer and conductor of a train for people with disabilities. That's my fun job. I see children, their eyes light up, they have fun, they're there because they're away from their natural habitat, and they want to do something different that day. I'm their train conductor, and I have fun doing that. That's my typical day, a little bit of everything. I have kindness throughout my life. I have a mother who had 13 pregnancies. I'm the oldest of 13 children. Now, as the oldest, I had to change a lot of diapers. I had to help in the kitchen. I had to do what I'm told. My journey in life is to be kind to everybody around me because kindness keeps people calm. I believe my journey has been from a very small town in Pennsylvania. I've been to 148 countries in the world, not in the same year. Starting in 1968 is when I started to travel. And my goal is to meet people around the world and find out their food, their curriculum, where they go, and experience different people's parameters of how they're kind to each other, how they live. And my journey is directed at kindness. A single touch is my journey with men, women, people who are gay and lesbian as sexual partners. I've had about 450 sexual partners in my life. And they happen randomly, they happen instinctively, they happen with a blink of an eye, they happen, sometimes I'll have a relationship with somebody for 2 or 3 months, 2 or 3 years, but not, because these are mostly married men with money, and also gay men with money. And they treat me to exotic places on their jet planes. When I was younger, I started having sex at the age of 18. I am 79. So, A Single Touch, Queen of the Hill by Mary Jane Splain is a book about adventures that are happy and sad. They are full of laughter and kindness and regret, but they're also, most men and women have 2 partners, 3 partners. My mother had 1 her whole life. I have 7 sisters, and 3 of them have had 1 partner their whole life. So they don't know what it's like to have multiple partners. They don't understand me. Or why would I want to experiment with all these different people at different times in different corners of the world? I go, and when it happens, it happens. You drop, you do it, and you're done. And you may not know their name, and never know their name, because it's a one-night stand. I wanted women and men around the world to know sex can be fun. Sex is something you should discuss, talk about. I grew up, because I'm a Catholic, I went to Catholic school for 12 years. I went to church every Sunday. Many times we went to church during the week because of Catholic schools demand that. And what motivated me was my whole life till I was 18, no one in my house ever talked about sex. So I wanted to explain to people sex can be fun, sex can be invigorating, sex can be motivating, and it's also gives you a profile of what the person is really like. I have people who have read the book, but only to chapter 3. They can't get past, it's not funny. People, especially women, have said to me, aren't you ashamed of yourself? You're with married men, and you may have been destroying their life. You're destroying their marriage. I feel differently. I feel I'm making their marriage better because I'm giving the intimacy they don't have in their marriage. My exploration of sex and my acknowledgement of it is gratifying to me, and some people go through their whole life and don't have sex. I have had sex with priests, who are in the ministry and devote their life to Christ. And for some reason, they want one experience in their life. And most of those are referrals from other priests. So they're not all Catholic priests. Some ecclesiastical or Lutheran, they're called priests. They could be called ministers, but the generic name. And so I've had that, and I can experience most of those priests don't know what to do with sex because they've had one partner, me. And I try to make it fun. My first experience was a man who had come back from the Vietnam War. He was 18, I was 18, well, he was probably 19. He had been in the military, served his 6 weeks, then they shoot all these guys out to war or to Vietnam. He'd come back with PTSD. He hated everybody. Everybody hated the people who served in the war. And my first sexual experiences was he just wanted to have sex with anybody who would pay attention to him. So that was my first sexual experience with a man that just wanted to get on top of me and just pound my body just to get relief out of his body. He didn't care about my satisfaction. He only wanted his satisfaction. And most of the time, men and women are self-centered. What they want out of sex is their pleasure. They don't always know how to give pleasure. My goal into this book is to explain to people, you get pleasure by giving pleasure. It doesn't always come back to you. It's not always pleasing, and sometimes it hurts. Some people have big penises, some people have small vaginas, and some people have a tiny throat. So you can't always enjoy that particular performance. I had a sexual experience with a man, his penis was like a tuna can. It was very, very wide. I couldn't put my hand around it, it was that wide. So from that to someone that had a penis like a pencil, very, very, very thin and long. You just adapt and you want to have fun. But you learn from every person that touches your life. Some of my relationships are ongoing. Some of the women that I've had sex with are still in my life. At distant, maybe Christmas cards and stuff like that. Some of the men are CEOs and powerful men. And they enjoyed it, but I was tossed. I was tossed to the left, tossed to the right, and it wasn't important anymore. They wanted something from me and they got it. I wanted something back and I got it. One guy took me to Soldier Field to a, Chicago Cubs game and different, I flew on his private jet and, go to Paris and go to Hong Kong and do all these exciting things. So my journey is still with people. The influence of my life was always looking back to my mother, who had a man who physically beat her probably 20 years of their 25-year marriage. She didn't know where to go. She didn't know what to do. She didn't know how to walk away with all those children. Where was she going to put them? And back then, in the 60s and 40s and 50s, my father came back from World War II, serving in the Battle of the Bulge. And so he had PTSD, he had war syndrome, and all he wanted to do was hop on this woman and have all these kids. And so they ended up divorced. But my influence is to say, every person that touches your life teaches you something. So I'm learning every day. When you look at somebody across the room, in a bar, at work, I try not to have work relationships. I've had a couple and they ended up in disaster because you can't work and be with somebody that you're close with and have to manage your time with, but then after work, they expect you to do things with them, and that's not the case. So my goal in life, in every relationship that I start, and some end in 4 hours, some end in 2 years, but I may see that person maybe 4 times in 2 years, not ongoing. They don't ever live in the city where I live, okay? They don't ever do the things I do. I one time at work, I was a server in a hotel, and the man, and I was on graveyard, and the man put down his room key and 7 $100 bills. On his table, he had an omelet or something, and at the end of his meal, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, he said, I'll see you at the end of your shift, assuming that he knew just by me serving him. We didn't have any relationship. By just looking at me, I was willing to have sex with him in his room for $700. Well, this is many years ago, but I said, you think you're going to have me for $700? That's not even near what it's going to cost you. So people think they can buy you for sex. People think they can have you for a certain amount of time for sex because they paid for that. I've never accepted money for sex, but I've accepted trips and gratuity like flowers and clothes and different things over the years, but never cash. Because one, I didn't care for cash, and two, you can't buy me. I tell you what this is going to cost. Every day, I feel confident and most into myself as I get older. I'm happy to be alive. I'm happy to have a job. I'm happy to meet new people. I'm happy to care for children in foster care. What makes me get out of bed, move forward, is kindness. I want to be kind to people who have not had the pleasure of having kindness. Homeless people, some are there because they want to be there, some are placed there, some have no place else to go, and circumstances predict they have to come to Bonanza in Charleston for dinner at 5 o'clock. And we hand them food, and 1 hour later they're gone. But if we're kind to them with salt and pepper or spices or extra bread, or one time I had a family, 3 kids under 5. The mother lived in her car with 3 kids, and the kids walked into there, but they have plates. Everybody gets the same food. And these kids started crying because they wanted peanut butter and jelly because they're little, and they don't want chicken and broccoli and all this other stuff that the adults are having, but everybody gets a tray, and everything's the same on every tray. And these kids wanted that kindness of peanut butter and jelly. And there's 800 people for dinner, and they're all filing in line, and these kids are crying because they're holding this food that they don't want to eat. And so the kindness I showed to the mother, I don't know that the children thought it was kind, but they got what they wanted. The mother was happy because I showed her children and her kindness. And that's how I get through my day. I like to laugh. I like to wear hats. I like to dress silly. I probably have 30 Halloween costumes that I meet people at the airport when they least expect it. I could be a shark, and sometimes I'll rent a costume. I go out and I just take a walk and say, hi, good morning. I want to be forward thinking, moving forward. I want to meet new people every day. I want to learn something new every day. I want to give, but I also want to receive. There's 8 billion people in this world. They all have something to teach you. I'm here to learn. If they wanted one thing, and I think that thing would be touch. You can touch with your eyes. You can touch with your lips. You can touch with your fingers. You can touch many different ways. And you can touch with not each other, but opening a car door, helping a woman out of a wheelchair into a chair in a restaurant or something. Just helping someone with a cane, helping someone with a disability like schizophrenia, and they're having a seizure. Get everybody away from them so their seizure can end. So it's serving people with disabilities, but learning that not everybody's like you. People are different, and I learn from different people, and I grow with different people, And I just want to have fun. I want to have fun every day of my life. Every day, I want to think, what is my next book? A friend of mine, maybe 12 years ago, have a title. We spent many years living as next door neighbors, and the name of our book was Murder, Mafia, Merlot. As you see, I have many things around here that designate wine. I'm a sommelier. I went and studied wine. So Murder, Mafia, and Merlot is a book that we're contemplating reading. And do I know about the mafia? You'll soon find out.